In Scientology, we have a very basic belief, and that is man is a spiritual being, that he has a body and that he has a mind. So in other words, he is not just a body, but he is a spiritual being. And knowing this, it's really very, very important that we maintain religious freedom, because it's not just religious freedom for the body or for the mind, but it's for the spiritual being that lives on and on. And knowing this, it's incredibly important to fight for this and to stand up for it and to work in concert with others to protect these religious freedoms. And if we don't, then it's, we might say it could be damnation for eternity, because Scientology believes that we are eternal and that the spiritual aspect of man is eternal and that we live on. About 3 or 4 years ago, when the U.S. State Department brought together people of different faiths to bring them together to dialogue on important issues on how they viewed international religious freedom, but also how they viewed just religious freedom in general. So from these particular meetings, the State Department was able to get a really good view on what was happening from the religious perspective. And one of the things that was found is that the nomenclature, in other words, the words that were being used by religious people, were not being understood by government officials. So when you have words that you do not understand and you don't understand the concepts, then it's incredibly difficult, and it's actually very dangerous, because then government officials cannot act appropriately or respond appropriately. One of the things I think that we all have to realize, especially here in the United States, that our faith is most likely, or is actually definitely, a minority someplace in the world, that all faiths are minorities someplace in the world. So if we know that, then we can understand why various faiths from around the world who are small and who are struggling to exist, why they're acting the way they do, and why they are reaching out to others to help them. And we really need to teach governments this. We need to reach out to governments and reach out to other civil society entities so we can share these views, and so that respect can be increased amongst the people and amongst society, and especially amongst government. I started with the Church of Scientology in 1969, which was some years ago, and at that particular point in time, the church was very, very young. In fact, it was only about 15 or 16 years old, which is right at the beginning. And I do remember very clearly that telling people that I had this new belief called Scientology. They didn't understand what it was, and even in the late 60s and 70s, there were all kinds of rumors going around, spread by the media and spread by individuals, that were just not true, just false information about the church. So that makes you feel that, well, there's something going on, you know, and it introverts you, it kind of cuts your lines with society, this sort of thing. So very, very early on, I realized that the importance of working with other people, and that I not only had to share my faith with others, but I really want to learn about others. So from the late 70s, I've been working on religious freedom issues, not only at the local level, but national level and the international level, and trying to bring about a better understanding of not only our faith, but also trying to learn more about others' faiths, and again, towards peace, because I feel very, very strongly that if you are totally secure in your own faith, then nothing can rock you from that, and that there is no threat. So you can reach out and you can listen very sincerely to others' beliefs, and you can understand, even though you may not believe that, but really understand where that person is coming from and why they believe it, and really respect it. So I feel that working with others again is vital, and we have to continue dialogue, and we have to stand up for each other. And again, going back to my original statement of constant vigilance, constant willingness to fight back, and standing shoulder to shoulder is vital if we're to get through all of this, these problems that we have in the world today.
We are so thankful for our religious and civil liberties specialists who are working with us to make sure that this great American experiment continues, where we live together in our differences. You too can become a constitutional and human rights specialist focusing on religious freedoms. Check out religiousfreedomcenter.org to learn more and to apply for graduate level courses in the First Amendment. Join us again next week for another episode of 5 Minutes of Religious Freedom.